Welcome to another episode of Breaking Down IT with Steve. I am your host, Steve, with PDX Information Technology Services. And how many of you have had the pop-up message saying you can't open Excel because you have not enough resources, or something will say not enough memory to open? So I've been getting that question a lot. And so I wanted to explain the differences between RAM, which is what like Excel uses to open, versus your hard drive. Because what I'll get is, oh, I have lots of room on my hard drive. That's great, but that doesn't help the Excel issue where you're trying to open up a file. So I have some visuals. So first, let's talk about a hard drive. This is a hard drive. All right, this is what the inside of the hard drive looks like. As you can see, it's like a record player. It has a little platter, like a record. And then this is the needle that goes back and forth. And what it does is it writes the information, your Excel document, your Word document, to the platter. And if you turn off your computer, it stays on the platter. It doesn't disappear. So the hard drive, for example, this is I think it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, is fairly cheap versus 1 terabyte of RAM. And we'll get to that in just a second. So large capacity, you can store a lot of data on hard drives. They're fairly cheap depending on which way you go. You can go with this is a standard hard drive. This is it's called an HDD. And it has platters. It's slower than an SSD. So your phone, your iPhone, your Android has SSD, solid state hard drives. You can store movies, a lot of documents, music on something like this, and it won't cost you very much. Conversely, if you tried to, let's say, get a 10 terabyte SSD, it's going to cost you a fortune. So, that's the difference between those two, is speed. And so this is a hard drive. Now, let's talk about what RAM is. This is a stick of RAM. And what it is it's called Random Access Memory, RAM. IT people love their acronyms. We don't know why, we just do. So we have an acronym for everything. This is RAM. And RAM is short-term memory. And what it does is you have your Excel document on your hard drive. You want to open that Excel file that's on your hard drive. It goes into RAM. And so it's fast. If you turn off your computer, everything on your RAM disappears. It goes away. And so any changes you made to that Excel document, if you didn't hit save or autosave to your hard drive, it goes away. And so it's very fast. These are generally done in gigabytes, not terabytes. And so the cost per gigabyte is far more expensive than what you would get on a hard drive. But you need a lot of these to open your Excel document, to run your system, to play your video games, to edit your videos for your podcast. You need a lot of RAM. And so bare minimum, what I say is 16 gigs of RAM. More is better. If you can go 32 or 64 gig, great. Your system will really run better with more RAM. Now, coming back to the hard drive, if you have your operating system on this type of a hard drive, this spool type hard drive, this record player type hard drive, it's going to run really slow. And you're going to be very frustrated because it's going to take seconds, and in the computer world, seconds is a long time, but it's going to take seconds to open up and open your Excel document. And so that's why you always want to have like your operating system on a solid state drive and have your documents and things that require a lot of storage on these older hard drives, these record player hard drives, because it's cheaper, it's better, it's faster to have it on an SSD than on a regular hard drive. So, in summary, more RAM is better, 16 minimum. For your operating system, SSD. For everything else, you can put it on a hard drive, and that's the cheaper way to go. So with that, I hope that clears up the confusion between what RAM is and what a hard drive is, and what memory is. So with that, I will wrap this up. Thank you for joining us, and I'll tune in next week for our next episode.